To me, all creativity is magic. Ideas start out in the empty void of your head and they end up as a material thing, like a book you can hold in your hand. That is a magical process. It's an alchemical thing. Yes, we do get the gold out of it, but that's not the most important thing. It's the work itself. Alan Moore. Alan Moore's name is not something that strikes for everyone, but to a comic book fan, it will definitely ring a bell. Because Alan Moore is the man behind Watchmen, V for Vendetta, Batman the Killing Joke, Superman Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, and so much more. But yes, the most famous one out of all of this, I would say, is Watchmen and V for Vendetta, especially since they were actually adapted into very successful movies. And we know how well the comic was written and how descriptive it was of the world, and how such creativity can inspire anyone. And that kind of creativity, it just flows out of you. You don't It does not have a very specific time, like, yes, from this time to this time you're going to have this creative pulse. No, it comes out of you naturally, and once you're in the throes of it, once you look at the result that comes out of it, it's this indescribable feeling of satisfaction and joy, and it's very hard to describe. Hey guys, welcome. This is your host Farha, and today's poem is one such poem. I wrote this when I had a creative pulse after listening to a song. Very ironic, I know the previous episode was also about a poem that I wrote from a song, but this one is much more creative, much more amazing, and just as good. So now let's get to it, shall we? Come alive. Come alive, my creative spirit, deep inside me. All these while you stayed asleep. So much so that I didn't know your existence. For years and years. But once I met you, I want to stay with you more and get to know you. All your nuances and how you work. This is honestly one of the shorter poems that I've written, and I think this is actually the shortest one that I've written. Throughout my poetry collections, I think this is the shortest one. I was uh, I was watching The Greatest Showman one day, and there is a song in that called "Come Alive." And the second I listened to it, I was like, okay, the song is great. That's all I thought. But each line of that song kind of brought out something or the other, and especially I would say especially the lines like. And the world becomes a fantasy, and the more that you could ever be, because you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. Or if I end up singing, it will be like, the world becomes a fantasy, more than you could ever be, so dreaming with your eyes wide open. Like, it just struck a chord inside me, because you do. There are times you actually do dream with your eyes wide open. You don't realize what's going on, and when something strikes you like that, it just draws you in. And honestly, it's a great feeling that way. And I would say what inspired me to write it is that creative process. Because honestly, I really wanted to write a song that I honestly wanted to write. And what drew me into write this poem was because honestly, I wanted to write a poem where I wanted to describe that feeling, that kind of joy that comes with that kind of burst of creativity. And I did not know how to describe it. It always, it was like it just like a pulse. It was like an EMP, honestly. Like it just comes and it shuts everything. Like for context, EMP or electromagnetic pulse, it ends up shutting down anything that is electric around you. And similarly, when you have that creative pulse, it shuts down everything around you. You don't honestly feel everything that goes on around you, and it's just like, oh my god, there is this thing I have, there's this idea in my head. I need to release it, or at least make a note of it. I want to, if you want to explore it and if you're busy right now, you might want to explore it later. So you end up just writing and making a note out of it. And I wanted to describe that feeling into a poem, and that's exactly what I did, and that's what I think I did, anyways. And it felt great. It felt good once I released it. It felt really nice. I know today's episode is pretty short compared to my other previous episodes because poem is just as short. But I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time with a totally different poem, and hopefully it's not one that I wrote inspired on a song. So let's see how things go. Okay.